Hello, and welcome to the PPLS Writing Center course on data visualization. My name is Andres Karjus. I'm a tutor at University of Edinburgh and also a PhD student in linguistics. The rest of this course is going to be very much hands-on. You'll be doing lots of exercises. This is just a quick video where I want to tell you why I personally think that doing plots, graphs, using programming is a good way to do it, and also why I think R is a good choice for it. I've been using R for about 8 years now and teaching it about 5, and I found it quite handy and also reasonably easy to learn for a programming language anyway. So let's get started. I want to try to answer two questions in this video. The first one is, why create your plots programmatically? Or in other words, why I think it's useful to do your visualization and stats and data wrangling using programming instead of using software that gives you a bunch of buttons to click. And the other one is, if you agree with the first one, why you should use R for it. The way I see it, programming sets you free. You can do pretty much anything. You're free to explore your data any way you want. You're not limited by the number of basic plots that Excel gives you, for example. You're not limited by the number of buttons. You're free to present your data in any way you want, free to use any style, color, or form, and free to combine or overlay any plot with any other plot. But even more importantly, plots created using code remain reproducible. The same code that you wrote today will work in a week, in a month, in a year, probably a decade later. And it's also easier to retain a uniform style throughout your paper or thesis or whatever you happen to be writing at the moment. Also importantly, no more clicking through endless menus and buttons, because time is money. But at this point you might be thinking, well, I'm not a programmer. I cannot do this. Well, I'm here to tell you that you don't need to be a programmer to write code. Incidentally, here's Hadley Wickham. He's a very well-known data scientist who has done extensive work on R packages and also created the package ggplot2, which we'll be using extensively in this workshop. And he also says you don't need to be a programmer to code. So question number 2, why use R? There are a number of good reasons for that. R is free, it's widely used, which means that there's lots of resources available, and it is quite easy to learn. It's massively extendable with packages, and there's great software like RStudio, which makes R very convenient to use. R is made for stats and data science, so if that is what you're doing, then that's the tool to use. Anyway, that's enough for the intro. Let's do some actual plotting. I'm just going to say a few more words about the worksheet that you downloaded, and then you can just start with the exercises. If you followed the installation instructions, then you should have your RStudio set up and the worksheet file open. If this is the first time you use RStudio, then it will probably look something like this. If you used it before, then maybe you've already applied your own theme or color scheme. That's all good. The worksheet that we are using is an R Markdown file, and this is a handy file format that allows us to combine text like instructions and also blocks of code. The way this course is intended to work is that you'll go through this worksheet section by section and just try your best to do the exercises. At some point you might get stuck. You might get an error that you don't understand. Don't worry too much about it. It's all right. Everybody gets errors, especially when they're starting out. There is a troubleshooting section at the top of this script, this file. I also recorded a video discussing some of the most common error types and just how to think about them, how to take your code apart and figure them out. And most importantly, of course, how to Google them. There's a link somewhere down after you've done the first few exercises. We also set up a support forum of sorts for this course. If you get stuck and you cannot figure out the error, or it's not in the troubleshooting section, you can't seem to figure it out by Googling it, then feel free to post your question in the forum and I'll try to answer them as best I can. Also, if you see somebody else's question and you know how to solve their problem, then feel free to chime in. Also, when you go through these exercises, try to think about how you would visualize your own data. If you have an idea how to visualize your data, but it's not covered by the methods in this worksheet, then also feel free to post that in the forum. At the end of this course, we'll have a live question and answer session. I'll pick some interesting questions from the forum and then demonstrate how to solve them, or maybe we'll explore some further visualization techniques. And also you'll have a chance to just ask questions. All right, that's it from me for now. Just go ahead and start with the exercises.